I like your thought process very much. I think it's the right way to go because there is a requirement. You just need to be able to notice the requirement, and which is what really goes unnoticed most of the time. Um, I especially liked the bed, where with just that much of a width, the amount of course, I think it's still at a conceptual stage, so there's a little more working that goes into it. I also like the concept of the diaper changing table because it's not Indian women. I think it is just as a design concept. It is your. I mean, being a mom, I know kids outgrow it so quickly, and then you're like, what do you do with a piece of furniture? And I think that is innovative. I think it's a good way to think.
No, I think for me, you've really hit the nail on the head with your approach because the response that you come up with as a designer, and what's critical to that for me is the power of observation, and that's exactly what you focused on. And I'm also coincidentally very interested in the idea of these accidental, not by design uses, and I think somewhere like Bombay, for example, where space is definitely at a premium, or especially if you go into slums, or even if you go into smaller flats, you find that people inhabiting these spaces often come up with creative ways born out of necessity, which these people don't consider themselves designers, right? And they're not in the well, maybe they are in the strictest sense of the word, but they're coming up with alternate or unplanned uses, which sometimes exceed the brief that you've allowed for that object by design. I don't know. Have you heard of this process called body storming? We've been hearing about brainstorming and so on, but there's actually this thing that I was reading about recently. I can't remember. It was developed by somebody in California who was designing chairs or airplane components or something, and they actually sort of role play or get into character to put themselves in the shoes of the person who's using the product. So, for example, guys who are designing, the interiors of cars for Ford, doing new concept cars, and five fully grown men dressing up in high heels and putting on false nails. And I'm not saying you need to go to that extent, but to actually acquaint yourself with the real on the ground reality problems of using this product and how else and I think to a certain extent you can't plan for those unplanned uses, and that's why they'll always be beautiful and quirky and and novel. So you can't plan, but what you can do as a designer is give that much flexibility, or give the person who's the end user that platform to then plug in a variety of uses. So for example, those mugs that you've shown can be interlocked together, but that's not inhibiting their normal use as a mug. And as long as you can see that line, and it would be great to see more and more of that in your work, but I think it's definitely the right way to come at it. Thanks.
Um, I really liked your approach, firstly, because you really touched upon that fact. I'm backing exactly what Praveer is saying, that the incidental things in life are the most forgotten. And I love the fact that you served all of us tea first. Thank you for that, because I was really craving for this. Um, and even if I look at our table right now, all of us have different ways of using it. And it would be very innovative, and I love the idea of putting that whole double pocket thing with this. If you could just combine that, you already have a product which is path breaking by just making a simple function. So I like your idea of stressing on function. All you need to do is refine the form part of it, which I think you're almost there already. Again, what she said about the bed, it's a great idea. You're I think you're 90% there with it. So you just have like the last 10% of aesthetics to work on. But I think it's already, you can already see it working in someone's house. It's a simple hinge that,
Practical ideas,
yeah,
yes.
practically it works, but just that form that needs to be firm. But I think it's great that you did you study in NID? Okay, and you're a pure product designer.
No, no, no. I'm a lifestyle accessory designer. I
Okay.
had done accessory design from NIFT Bangalore first.
Mm.
Then I worked with a furniture design firm called Quetzal Designs.
Mm. Okay, I think you've got great potential. I think if you're there in Milan, it's going to open your eyes to a different level. I think someone like you should really be there. You know, right? Thanks.